The purpose of our life is to be happy. Dalai Lama. Life is a blessing. Each day is an opportunity. Coastal Connection welcomes fitness expert, social media influencer, and cancer survivor, Fitz Koehler. Fitz makes the most of each day by helping others improve their lives. Let us elevate yours.
Maybe if I change the way I love it, maybe if I try to fix this heart, then I could have stayed the night, I could have gone.
Wie geht's, meine Damen und Herren? Wir haben Fitz Koehler hier heute. I'm just playing Fitz. Hey, so we got Fitz Koehler here today. She is an awesome fitness expert, but she's also a cancer survivor. Woo! Hey, Fitz, welcome to the show. Me and Mike G really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us today.
Thank you both for having me. Thank you. And Vince, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. All right, so Fitz, before we get started, I just want to know, I read your book. You've had really a serious journey. And, and I realized not ever having cancer that it changes people, because my dad passed away from it. It changes people internally and emotionally, and you evolve. So, we're going to get into that story, and I definitely want you to just get into that story and that, and just, give the viewers a really taste of, what you went through and how you, reevaluate your life. But before we get started, I want to say, where are you from? What's a little bit of your background and how you got into fitness, the fitness crave, and how you ended up in Frankfurt kickboxing? All right.
All right. A few different things. So I am a very noisy, bossy person who cares about helping others live better and longer, making fitness understandable, attainable, and fun. And so I've been teaching fitness since I was 14, fell in love with it at a little woman's gym. And, my career progressed where I was teaching on television, I was teaching overseas. And so I decided to continue on, turn this job into a profession. And I got my master's from the University of Florida in exercise and sports sciences. And I turned my focus from teaching in a fitness center to teaching via mass media, because that really is my passion. I would never be satisfied with teaching 50 people at a time. I prefer to reach tens of thousands or millions every time I open my mouth. And so career-wise, that's where the fitness thing goes. It evolved and has changed as careers do. And I'm a professional race announcer and sports host. So I travel the country most weekends of the year, making happy noise, usually for tens of thousands of runners or athletes of different sorts. And I love doing that. And what else? I live in Gainesville, Florida. I'm a Gator. I've got two great kids that, light up my life. I'm an animal person. I love being dragged behind a boat. I'm a typical Floridian. I love the water. I love the sun. I love people. So there's me. That's what you get to know right now. There's my website, fitzness.com. Everybody should stop by.
Oh yeah, you rock it. And you talk about, because I'm a Florida State guy, so I'm not gonna hold that against you.
Okay, that's okay. Go Noles. It's all right.
All right. So you said you started at 14 getting into fitness. So what areas of fitness? Because when you use that term, and that's such a generic term these days, because we've everything from evolved from CrossFit, we've gone from yoga to aerobics in the 80s, to Jane Fonda. So kind of give me, what's your evolution in your fitness world that you're in?
So interestingly enough, there are some people who specialize, and there's the yoga guy and the CrossFit girl, etc. I am not. I am the person who helps you figure out how to live better and longer by incorporating the 4 pillars of fitness, the exact formula for weight loss. I don't really care what type of fitness you pursue, as long as, you're incorporating strength, cardio, flexibility, balance training, you're watching what you put in your mouth. And that's where I come in. I am the overarching person who helps you prioritize fitness and gives you the tools to understand how your body works. And then if you want to go take a yoga class, great, go meet that yoga girl. If you want to go do CrossFit, fantastic. There's other coaches and specialists for that. But I am like the overarching fitness queen. Look at that. You don't get that neon sign for no reason, Vince.
All right. So, how did you get into race announcing? All right. So, I'm just like, how did you wake up and go, okay, I'm going to be a marathon race announcer? And I've seen your videos.
Yeah,
And me and Mike went through it, and you do a lot of races. So,
I do.
and we got your race schedule. So, how did you just get into race announcing? Because that's like, you come on, let's be honest, Fitz. That ain't normal.
No, it's not. And some people are like, what the hell is a
Not
race
at all.
announcer?
Not at all.
So I
That's a
get
lot
it.
of running.
I get
That's a
it.
lot
So,
of
I run at the mouth, right? When I'm out at these races, I'm not running. I am hosting. I man the start and finish line of some of the largest, most iconic running events on planet Earth. And I'm not really running. I'm talking. But I'm also a sport performance expert. So I was teaching clinics for Run Disney. There's strength training for runners clinics and all of these presentation to help people prepare their body for their sport. And their race announcer grabbed me and said, "You're incredible. I love your energy. I love your delivery. Would you come announce a race with me?" And I said, "Well, I've never done that before, but I'd love to learn. And I definitely would love to give it a go." And so he hooked me up with the race director of the OC Marathon. That's Orange County in California. And Gary Kutcher. And Gary said, "Yeah, I'd love to have you on board. Come give it a shot." And within an hour of yelling go for the marathon, he came over and said, "Would you please come back next year?" And there were other race directors there who said, "Hey, would you come do my event too?" And it's really snowballed. And I think I have the best race schedule of any announcer in the country. And there's really not so many of us, but for those of us who do it, I think my races are the best. I love them.
You live in Florida, so that helps.
Well, I
Hey,
do, but really, I announce maybe 3, 4 events in Florida, and all of my events, the rest are everywhere else. So Big Sur Marathon, Los Angeles Marathon, Philadelphia, Buffalo Marathon. I host these titans of sport everywhere, and I love it.
So what are the time frame? Like, do you there for hours and stuff like that? Just saying like who's in the lead and who's running, and who's losing and who was winning, but now they're losing, who fell, who twisted their ankle, because I've been to races, people faint, people
Right.
twist their ankle, things
Yeah.
happen.
So you're thinking more like a track meet. And so while Los Angeles Marathon, for example, we get the Ethiopians, we get the international superstars, and that is pretty interesting to, launch them and welcome the champions home. And there's a big prize purse. But with 27,000 athletes, the real focus for me is on the 26,800 who are not competitive, not trying to win. They're out there to be healthy and fit and participate and have fun. Some of them dress in costumes. Some of them have never run a race before in their life. Some of them will walk the entire time. And while I completely respect our speedsters and our champion, my heart is with the back of the pack, because those are the people having life-changing moments when they cross the start line. And then when they get to the finish line, it's game on for every day moving forward.
so did you ever host the granddaddy of all marathons, the Boston Marathon?
I have not, but in October, I ran the Boston Marathon. So I got to have that awesome experience as an athlete, which was really fun. Maybe one day I'll grab a microphone in Boston, but for right now, I'm really happy being a finisher.
All right, so let's get into it. You talked about the people living their healthiest life.
Uh-huh.
So you've always lived your healthiest life. So when you found out that you were diagnosed with cancer, so first let's walk us into were you starting to have certain feelings? Were there certain things going on that then you started saying, you know what, I need to get checked out? So Fitz, kind of walk us through your journey of, of your struggle when you found out you had cancer.
Well, I'll tell you what, I do walk the walk. I am the girl who gets all of my annual exams of all sorts, the pap smears, the skin check, the eyes, the mammograms every year because they're free with insurance. Why not? And so in December of 2018, late December of 2018, I had a clean mammogram, walked out with a clean bill of health. Less than 6 weeks later, at a hotel bathroom at a race weekend, I came out of the shower and I just had an itch, and I rubbed my underboob and I found a lump. And this is really important stuff for people to hear, is that when your body gives you a red flag, you need to pay attention to it. And so what I did within 30 seconds of finding that lump, picked up the phone, called my gyno. I said, found a lump. And so we made the appointment. That was a Thursday. Monday, I saw the gyno. Thursday, I had the mammogram, the ultrasound, where the radiologist said, I see a mass, but you have 3 hard swollen lymph nodes I'm concerned about. So within 6 weeks, I went from nothing to a sizey tumor that had spread to my lymph nodes. And, 3 days later, I was told, yeah, you have breast cancer, which was terrifying. It was terrifying and stressful. And, because I feel like I have the perfect career and the perfect family, and I'm the epitome of health, right? I'm the beacon of health and happiness. I thought for certain I was going to make the perfect tale of tragedy, and I was going to die, and I was going to do it soon. It was very, very harrowing. And finally, my doctor was able to convince me. He said, listen, 94% of all breast cancer cases are curable. Yours is specifically curable. You just have to endure the cure. And so that's where I went from there. I stopped thinking I was going to die and started figuring out how I was going to live.
All right. So did you? Yeah, that's right. But did you ever, ask the question like, why me? Because
Nope,
like when my dad got it,
never.
he went through that
Nope,
that whole,
no way.
why is that me?
You know what, Vince? When I look around and I see children with cancer and I see parents of children with cancer, perspective has always been my guiding force. And there was absolutely no way I was going to have a pity party for myself when there's kids, little bald kids in the, Shands UF Health here Cancer Center sick. I never had the why me moment. I never thought it was for a reason. I never thought that some magic man in the sky planted a seed of doom in my boob. I just, I'm a fluke. I had one rogue cell, and it's turned my life upside down. But absolutely no way. I am one statistically of millions of people who will have a cancer diagnosis, and I'm so fortunate that for me it was breast and not pancreas. Right? There are sadder stories. Or some people, boom, they're paralyzed in a heartbeat. That's really terrifying. For me, I had this very curable disease that I just had to deal with, and I was willing to.
Yeah. So go, Mike. Go ahead.
No, I can feel the remorse. I knew somebody with cancer as well, so I understand the change because it happened so quickly. It was a month, boom, And she didn't survive. I mean, she rest in peace.
Sorry.
No, but I could see a survivor, and like you said, it's not a pity party, but you have to be strong, and us strong people have to be strong for the others, and that's a great thing. I just wanted to give you mad credit for that,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
keep
Thank you.
it going, keep it going. That was nice.
All right.
Vecino.
So as you're shaping the world around you, and I've watched your messages that you've put out to everyone about being healthy. So during COVID, and you saw it, the reports of America, right? And the reports were kind of grueling that because we were such unhealthy in so many terms, that was a massive reason we lost a lot of people to some degree. And I'm still waiting on the next 10 years to get the real analysis back. So what was your kind of takes to step back after you've survived cancer and you see COVID and you see the issues with the people's health? And so I realize you got a massive campaign now to try to get people to be a little bit more healthier in their lives. Go ahead.
So I thought it was very ironic that in order to protect the health of our country, people would shut down gyms and trails and the ocean and say, don't exercise outdoors. I care about your health. So there was a lot of baloney, and I'm okay being upfront and frank. I think it was completely mismanaged. I think the people in charge are, maybe they're focused on sick care. I'm the health expert. If somebody actually cared about the health of Americans, instead of saying, hide under the covers and don't go out and don't exercise and wear a spacesuit to protect you from germs, what they might have said is, hey, Americans, get your butt out there and exercise most days of the week. This is the secret to being healthy. Hey, Americans, go to the produce section and find 4 different items of 4 different colors and ingest some every single day. Stop overloading on processed foods and alcohol and cigarettes. If you care about your health, cut back on those things. So the COVID debacle is going to go down as one of the most humiliating, embarrassing points in our country. It's disturbing. And from someone who actually knows a bit about health and fitness, they've blown it in every category. Thank goodness for my governor, who jumped back in the game very quickly and apologized for shutting us down. But yeah, the COVID thing is mismanaged completely, and not that people didn't actually get sick. And People didn't die. Those are things, but I got sick. I was the most immune compromised person on planet Earth for a while, and I never missed a flight, and I never missed a mass gathering, and I never missed an opportunity to hug thousands of sweaty, germy strangers, because my life is better than with people. And yeah, who wants this life without access to the things that make our life wonderful? So I'm gonna cut right there because I could really go on. But yeah, mismanaged completely.
Yeah, and the thing is that you started realizing that, I messed up. I should have bought stock in home gym equipment, because who would have known bungee cords would have been so expensive? I could have got rich, man. I could have got rich. No, I love your candidness about it and being straightforward, because that was one of the things that kind of bothers me now with the different campaigns that we have out on. It's okay not to be as healthy as you need to be, but, enjoy life. But, you would like to have a long life and enjoy that life. And I kind of always push back on the issues of saying that, we get bombarded with a lot of processed food commercials. We get bombarded with a lot of commercials of fast food. But, as I look in Europe, growing up in Europe, Europeans eat really clean and on a regular basis. And they do have to cook daily pretty much, because they do eat clean. But I find that as a country, when we already know we have a high diabetes rate, we know we have hypertension, we know we have high blood pressure, we know we have high cholesterol going on. Wow. I would love your perspective on, why don't we see more of it on TV, or perspectives on and commercials to say, hey guys, wake up?
Well, because there's not a lot of money to be made on the truth. And so, I've worked as a consumer advocate, because I'm the one telling people you don't need diets, pills, powders, supplements. They're all snake oil. It's all a hack. It's all a sham. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry made off of lies. And really, getting down and doing push-ups and squats and lunges, those are free. Going for a walk around the block or going swimming in the lake, it's free. You don't need things. Now, mind you, if you want to spend money on fitness equipment and gear that makes exercise more fun and safe, great, go for it. But you don't need to buy some packaged product, and you certainly don't need to invest in some diet plan. You just need to, exact formula for weight loss. It's on the cover of my website, and it's free. You just need to learn how to eat the right amount of the right food for the size you want to be. And then you choose real food that goes along with your goals. So that's it. There's not a lot of people that are willing to give out the honest information for free. I give the consumer everything for free right up here. And then corporations pay my bills. And I never take money from the snake oil salesman. And I've been offered millions to pump pills and powders and crap. And I'm unwilling to do it. I would never be able to look myself in the mirror if I took that money and I lied to people.
Wow.
That's the conglomerate of it all. You're right about that.
Leave them alone. That's right.
Eat the McDonald's, the Burger Kings, and all that.
Although here's the deal. Perfect is boring. So the reality is, if 80 to 90% of your caloric intake is nutritious, you can have some French fries, you can have some chocolate, you can have a beer. Perfect's boring. If anyone's saying you can never eat something white again, stiff arm them, hit them in the face, and then go the other way. And then if there's people saying, have this diet where you can't eat fruit, oh my God, that's where you really don't stiff arm them. That's where you just hit them in the nose and say, screw you for trying to mess with me. Goodbye. And then you go. So, yeah, I'm a little violent about it, but I care about
kickboxing mixed with track and racing. I can see the energy.
Right.
I see the energy.
Right. I'm defensive of my people. I just care about people, and when they take those steps to try and actually be healthy and fit, and then someone takes advantage of them, I am not okay with that. I'm not okay with that.
Hey, so let me ask you this. So, I think the biggest struggle for most people is, ever since we invented Uber Eats and takeout.
You can order healthy food. You can actually go to McDonald's and get a healthy meal. You just have to choose it, right? We're not dumb. Right. You got to choose it.
But but when you go to a restaurant, I think that sometimes it always the struggles, because you look at menus nowadays and you ask, I'm a big salad kind of guy. Yeah. And I think in some places actually have really kind of got away from salads, and I'm like, why are we getting away from something that's healthy, but pricing too? And this is what really cracks me up. Why does healthy food, which is less, less tasteful, less time to prepare, costs more than something that's unhealthy.
So here's the deal. That is actually not the truth. So if you go into the cracker section, there's a box of Cheez-Its for $4.29. You can get a whole bushel of broccoli and a banana and 3 apples for the same price. You just have to choose that. If you get a little scoop of ice cream at Cold Stone, it's a $5-6 scoop of ice cream. You can go and get some healthy veggies and fruits or lean proteins for a very fair price. Again, you just have to choose it. And you got to have the information of what you want. And then you got to seek it out. I buy fruit in season, like right now, no way would I buy a watermelon. But all summer, my fridge is filled with watermelon. So we make those choices. It's choices. Control what you can.
But I see that the people, it's hard to make the choices. It's hard to transfer everything. Well, for them, this is what I'm being told. Not me. I like fruits.
Listen, Mike. What's hard is injecting yourself with insulin 7 times a day because you have diabetes. What's hard is getting on a ventilator because you have all these comorbidities because you didn't take care of yourself, and then little COVID germ showed up, and now it's wreaked havoc on you because you're so weak. That's hard. Choosing strawberries, not so hard. Strawberries are delicious. I promise you that. It's just, we choose our heart. You can choose the heart of dying as a sick person. You can choose the heart of living a life of an athletic adventure because you're choosing that kind of heart.
I like that. So, one thing I struggled with over the time is as you're getting older and your metabolism gets slower. What kind of advice do you give people? Because, the metabolism beast gets us all at some point. And so when it starts, because I see people actually go through some emotional events when their metabolism slows down, because I hear this, I used to eat that all the time. Well, as you change, you got to kind of make that modification. So when you're giving that advice out about diet, eating right, and this, how do you kind of deal with those emotional moments with some people?
Yeah. So I see where people have this change in their metabolism is really in their early 20s. So they're reckless eaters in their teens. They eat like teenagers, and they're usually on some sports teams and doing all sorts of fun stuff. And then the sports go away, and in their 20s, their eating habits catch up with them. So yeah, your metabolism doesn't really change that much though. And here's the secret to keeping an incredible metabolism: strength training. Strength training is the fountain of youth. Strength training is a thing that's going to keep your metabolism high. Just sitting still. If there's you and your identical twin and you weigh the exact same thing, if your identical twin has more muscle than fat, that person's going to burn far more calories just sitting still than you are. So strength training, it doesn't mean you got to bench 500 pounds. It just means you have to work on making those muscles, getting them stronger. And I tell you what, if you are strong, everything in your life is easier. You have more energy. You're far less susceptible to injury. You're more resilient. And muscles are hot. I can tell you, if you want to look a certain way, the curves brought on by muscles are the kind of curves you want to have. So yeah, strength training, that's a secret to a high metabolism. Keep your body moving. Again, you don't have to be perfect. Just start doing better than you already are. Move a little more. If I'm sitting here and I'm doing this, I'm doing better than I'm just sitting there with my hands in my lap. So you don't have to be an Olympic weightlifter. Just do more than you're doing and keep making progress.
Oh, you sound like a 1990s film there about muscles.
You know what I love? My icon, the guy that I always want to emulate, is Jack LaLanne. He died, 10 years ago at 90 something, but he is the godfather of fitness for the reason he told the truth. Everything that he said in the 50s is still valid today. Love that guy. And if I sound like old school, science hasn't changed, so I'm okay sounding old school. Don't ever put me in the trendy group.
Well, Jack was unique anyway, because he started doing fitness, and a lot of people thought he was crazy with his little leotard kind of outfits on. But you know what? He started in the 50s, and he promoted it, and he set off a lot of people. I even think back to Corey Emerson when she used to do body shaping.
Oh, yeah.
And all the different people that body sculpture and all the different shows that were on. You really don't see those shows pushed on TV anymore like they were in the 90s. It's like, I think in the 80s, late 80s, 90s, people were really fit, because if you looked at a lot of the TV shows, a lot of everything, it was kind of surrounded by getting outside, getting your health. nowadays you see a lot more things where, you know, it's everybody's on computers. Everybody's kind of sediment. So go ahead.
So I can tell you that we're doing, a lot of people are doing really well. And I know this because I see 30,000 of them line up to do a 5K or a marathon, right? And then we train differently now. Now we have apps. Now we have Peloton app, people are still pursuing fitness in a really solid way. Of course, there's just that big chunk of people who do nothing. They do jack, and then they complain, and then they complain when they're sick, and then they leech off the government and they leech off the taxpayers because they're unwilling to prioritize their own health. And so that's the squeaky wheel, is the sick people, the people who live this sickly life. And, you know, I hope I can get them to get up and start taking action on their own behalf.
That's true. That's true. Because I think in the 80s, when people were wearing the short shorts, they were more healthier people. You know what I'm saying? With the long socks, different colors. Remember? I'm just saying. I mean, I'm sure my age.
If we mandated short shorts instead of masks, people might look in the mirror and go, "Uh-oh, I need to do something. If I got to wear these short shorts every day, dolphin shorts."
Somebody brought up to me one day, is back in the 80s, we used to wear the cut off. All the guys used to cut their shirts off, and so you can see their abs. And I started laughing because I look at some of the old pictures I have now, and I said, "Yeah, you could do that back in the day because everybody was always trying to have a six pack."
All right, man, we're mandating no more masks. You got to show your face, and everyone's got to look at your face while you're wearing the shorty shorts and the half shirts, and then they're going to know whether you take care of yourself or not. New mandate.
Right. Bring back the Adidas short shorts. The Adidas short shorts with the, you know, I think I'm going to rock that this summer. I think so. I need to lose a little bit myself. I'm on it. Thank you.
We are solving problems left and right.
Oh, you guys are killing me. All right, so Fitz, so if you had to give any advice, and pretty much, let's say to the next generation, if anybody that catches this after we rerun it again, what advice would you kind of give to the next generation of, hey, can we do a few things a little bit better than we're doing now?
Yeah, be bold, be brave, don't be afraid. I see too many people looking for safe spaces. No, life is hard, and that's okay. Life is hard. You know, we talked about the book, right? My Noisy Cancer Comeback. There's a lot of hard in here. There was a lot of hard throw at me, a lot of needles, a lot of toxic drugs, a lot of terrifying situations. And I just figured it out. I decided I'm going to be better than this treatment. I'm going to continue on with my career. I'm going to spend time with my kids, and nothing's going to get in my way. And I had a bunch of hard times, but I got through it. And you can get through hard times too. Life's not supposed to be easy. I'm looking at a retired brigadier general. There is nothing easy about preserving freedom and peace, but it's well worth it. And so don't hide from challenges, controversies. Find them, face them, and conquer, because life is good. There's a whole bunch of exciting things if you're willing to take on worthy challenges and overcome them.
Awesome. Hey, Mike, before we go, Fitz, where are you going to be at next? Like, if you got it off the top of your head, I know Mike's going to try to pull up your link real quick. But where are you going to be at in the next month or so? Or if anybody's out at the race and they watch this and they see you and they want to come up and say, "Hey, Fitz, what's up? I seen you on Coastal Connection." Where are you going to be, girl?
I want them to see me, and I want them to give me hugs too, because I'm the hugging announcer. The end of February, I will be in Tampa at Gasparilla Distance Classic. Then I will be in North Carolina announcing the inaugural Coast Guard Marathon. And 2 weeks later, I'll be at the Los Angeles Marathon announcing that. And then I go to Fargo and Buffalo and Big Sur and so forth. So visit me at fitzness.com. I'm always there. There's a ton of free resources. And then I'm on social media at Fitzness as well. And I'd love you to follow. But if you follow, reach out and say hi. I found you on Coastal Connections because I'd much rather have friends than followers. So,
all right, that's what I'm talking about. And Fitz's IG is right there. So if anybody's looking to get connected with her, she's on Instagram. I follow her on Instagram because she puts out some good content, and she definitely is always smiling at the race, having a good time at the race. And follow her on Twitter. Hey, Fitz, we appreciate you coming on the show today. And you're a breath of fresh air as always. You keep up what you're doing, girl. And we hope to have you back in the future. And as me and Mike G always say when we have a guest come on,
keep it rolling.
rolling.
You didn't say.